Hey friends, welcome to day 2 of I Am Not a Robot. Today we are going to talk more about the Ayurvedic doshas, their elements, and their energies. And more specifically, we are going to talk about how these energies flow through the year and the day so that you can learn how to literally go with the flow. So let's first break down the doshas and their times of day. And I love doing this. I literally wish I could see your faces watching this video, because whenever I explain this to people, I just feel like light bulbs go off and everything in the world makes sense. So let's start with Vata. Vata again is air and space, right? It's got this mobile energy. Vata is dominant throughout the day at 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And this is just roughly these hours, and 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So what this means is we are going to have more of that mobile energy. So if you find yourself waking up between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 p.m., you may have a Vata imbalance, and you may find that you're having a hard time going to sleep during this time. Right, and this is where there are a lot of tips in Ekka's Holistic Hub of how you can manage insomnia and that Vata imbalance in the morning. Just because this is a shorter workshop, we're not going to go into all of those details, but they are there for you if you wish to explore a little more. But we will talk about things you can do during the Vata time so that you can go with the flow. So one thing is, it is ideal, according to Ayurveda, to wake up during that Vata time. So if you can get up before 6 or around 6, you're going to have a little extra boost of energy because you're going to have that Vata energy. And if you're not in the routine of doing this right now, if maybe you sleep till 10 a.m. every day, this is going to feel challenging at first, but eventually it's going to feel good. And you can also use that extra boost of energy to help you maybe work out in the morning. When we see that Vata energy in the afternoon from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., this is the time, again, we have more of that mobile energy, and sometimes it's not very focused. So this is a good time to create your to-do list or to do any creative projects that you have to work on. It's also a great time to, again, exercise because you already have that mobile energy. So, sometimes when you want to go to the gym or you want to go to yoga, whatever it is, and you're feeling a little sluggish, generally speaking, between the hours of 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., you should have a little more of that mobile energy, which should make it easier to go work out. All right, let's talk about Pitta next. Pitta is dominant in our day during the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., and then 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So let's talk about the nighttime first. So at 10 p.m., you may have noticed this before, but we tend to get a second wind because that Pitta energy kicks in. You might even find if you stay up past 10 o'clock, you get hungry and you want to eat a snack. So during these hours, this is ideal to be in bed before 10 p.m. because otherwise we do get that second wind and it can make it more challenging for us to fall asleep. And also, if we are awake during that time, what is supposed to be happening within our body is it is supposed to be mentally and physically digesting our experiences and our dinner. So if we're burning up that energy, we're not properly digesting everything that we took in for the day. Now, during the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., this is, again, Pitta time. And remember, Pitta is this fiery energy which can help us feel a little more focused, a little more ready to get her done, right? So this is a great time to strategize or complete the bulk of your challenging work. It's also a great time to eat lunch, which should be your largest meal of the day, right? I know conventional nutrition has told us that breakfast is the most important meal of the day or should be the largest meal of the day. But if we have more of that Pitta energy, that fire, that also means we have more of what's called our Agni, which is our digestive fire. So it's actually going to be a lot easier, or it's going to be more efficient to digest a larger meal during those hours of the day. Now, Kapha time. Kapha time is from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So during the hours of 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., this is when it can feel a little harder to get up. And that's why Ayurveda recommends getting up about 6 or before 6 if that is possible. Because when you have more of that Kapha energy, you have that heaviness, which makes it a little more challenging to get yourself out of bed and get moving. During Kapha time, it's ideal to eat a light breakfast and then follow a task list. And sometimes we might not feel like we're like ready to go out and do something like totally brain worthy, but we have more of that grounding energy. So especially if you know you're Vata dominant, this is a good time to do things that require focus because we have more of that Kapha, which will allow us to sit and to complete those tasks. Now, during the hours of 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., again, this is another Kapha time. This is the time of day where we naturally start to relax, right? Not necessarily during summer, but during fall, winter, spring, it starts to get dark earlier. So we start to want to kind of cozy in. We want to embrace that Kapha energy and we want to have a light dinner. We want to relax. So it makes it easier for us to just sweep ourselves to bed, right? Without feeling like we are, going, and then we lay down and we're like, oh, I can't sleep, right? So taking advantage of that slower moving energy during that chunk of time to prepare ourselves for a good night of sleep. And there is a little chart in the email. It's really brief, but it'll give you a good idea of, again, the tasks that you can do during these hours each day to make yourself feel a little more productive and to be able to go with the flow. Now we can also bring in the seasons. Let's start with Vata. So from an Ayurvedic perspective, the fall season is for cultivating and creating, as the energy of Vata allows us more mobility and flexibility in the way we think. So Vata season or fall is known as the brainstorming season. And after summer or Pitta season, it allows us to shift from a season of implementation and perfection to a season where we can embrace flow. All right, Pitta season. Pitta season is during the summer, right? We see more of that fire element. So from an Ayurvedic perspective, the summer season is for doing, as the energy of Pitta allows us to be focused and driven. The additional qualities of the fire element give us that spark to take action. So if there is anything that you created during the fall season, right, it's nice. Summer's a good time to implement this, to take action, to make it happen. And it's especially nice after winter or Kapha season, as it allows us to shift from a season of planning to, like I said, to a season of putting these plans into action. And then lastly, we have Kapha season, which is early spring and winter. And this is the season for resting and planning, as the energy of Kapha allows us to be more mindful and intentional. After fall or Vata season, it allows us to shift from a season of creating to a season of laying the groundwork for those ideas. So I just want to backtrack for a minute with the seasons because it just flows together so nicely, especially since we're in fall right now in the Northern Hemisphere. It's October, right? So this is the time to embrace that creative energy, to start taking note of your creative ideas or whatever you're doing, if there's something you want to build, something you want to create, a book, maybe you want to build a house, whatever it is, right? Start jotting down those creative ideas. And then when we get to Kapha, winter, this is the time, right, where we feel more grounded. We've got the ideas. Then we can start creating a plan of action. And then when we get to Pitta season, that fiery season, we can put that plan into action. So my homework assignment for you today to better practice going with the flow is to start implementing one of your regular to-dos during the correct time of day. So for example, if you, I put this in the notes, but for example, I'm going to work out during Vata time and take advantage of the extra mobile energy I have during that time. I'm going to do my bookkeeping during Pitta time on Tuesdays, as I'll naturally have a little more of that focused energy. So that's just my example of some ways that I use the doshas and their energies to make my workday a little more fluid and to make things a little easier on myself. If you have any questions, again, just hit reply with the email and I will answer your questions in this evening's Facebook and Instagram Live. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.